Hey everyone, it's BrowncoatNerd. Today we've got another holster video. Now I know these are not the most popular videos of mine, but this one's actually kind of cool and interesting, especially if you're into CZs, or more specifically the 82 and 83 models. So if you're familiar with the CZ 82s, the standard military holster they come with is kind of a funky looking holster, and I apologize, I don't have an example to show you. But it's kind of almost like a utility tool type looking pouch, and it encloses the entire gun along with a extra magazine. So I saw this pop up. This particular one came from Liberty Tree Collectors, and it kind of caught me off guard because it looks like a more typical standard holster. Now a lot of places are selling these. You're seeing them pop up quite a bit. I even know a guy that purchased a CZ 83 from, I believe, Classic, and it actually came with this holster. But like I said, I got this from Liberty Tree Collectors for $29. I did kind of pay on the high end of that. A lot of them I've been seeing for $30. I've seen a few pop up for a little bit less than that. And pretty much all of them will come with the cleaning brush and rod here that's got like a little screwdriver on the end there. And then sometimes you'll also find them with the matching magazine pouch that goes along with this as well, which unfortunately I do not have. But these are made by a company called Zili Praha. It's Zili and Praha. But they're out of Prague, and they were licensed by CZ to make these. There you can see their logo. I believe they have a couple different kind of logos that they put on these, so you might be able to tell or find out a specific year at which the holster was made, or roughly a year based on the logo that's on there. And then it also has the CZ logo. As you can see, it's got a little retention screw to tighten this up. I believe it's designed for 2-inch thick belts. Of course, you could take that out if you had a thicker belt and use it on there. It does have a little thumb brake here. Makes it for easy access. Now, if you're wondering, you cannot carry this with the hammer back and the safety on. There's not enough room, so you'd have to go, hammer down, safety off option with that. It's just a really nice looking holster, and like I said, it's very different from the typical holsters for these 82, 83 models, and that looks like a standard holster for pretty much everything else. Now, a lot of these websites are selling these, saying it was a military and police holster. I did a little looking around. I'm kind of leaning a little more towards these were probably just police, or mostly police, and I might be completely wrong on that. But the reason I say that is I recently acquired, a while ago, around Christmas, acquired this book, which if you are into CZs, I highly recommend this book. It does not look very thick, but it is packed jammed full of information. And let me tell you, I wish I had that book before I made the video on my 83 and on my CZ 50, because there's a ton of great information that is in there that's not really readily available online. So I highly recommend that. But I was looking through that book at the different holsters, trying to get a little more information on this specific one. Now, they do show a model of this holster for the CZ 50 and 70 models. And it is exactly identical. It's the same company that makes it. And so then I was like, well, did they just kind of recycle these holsters for the 82s, 83s? Would it fit? Are they getting imported and mislabeled? So I got curious. So I took my CZ 50. Everything has been safety checked. Everything is unloaded. And at first I was like, holy cow. I'm struggling here a little bit. Okay. So we got it in there. Let me snap it up. There we go. All right. So at first I was like, I'll be darned. It fits. This is all filled in up here. There's no gap. It appears tight, but if you maneuver this out, you can pull this right out of here without doing the It's a lot quicker with 2 hands. See, you can pull that right out. I highly doubt that they would have made a holster for both models. You know, they make the same holster for both models when it can slide out with the CC50. So I will say this holster is specifically made for the 82 and or 83 models. If it is more likely, excuse me, and this book did state that this holster for the 50 and 70 was specifically a police holster. So that would just lead me to believe that, you know, they're going to stick with that same style of holster for the police, and then just kind of upgrade the holster with the new gun. So I'm leaning a little more towards that this is most likely specifically a police holster. So if you're wanting to get a holster for your 82 and you're wanting to keep it authentic as to, you know, all the military aspects, I would go for the typical utility belt looking kind of pouch holster for those 82s. However, if you have an 82 that you know was used by the police, or if you have an 83, which was much more commonly used by the police, of course they also did make those heavily for the civilian market as well. But if it was an 83, you know, this would, you know, and a police issued gun, this would likely be the holster that they would have used for that. And I imagine, you know, a lot of these 82s and 83s were exported to other countries for their military and police. And I imagine they would have done the same for the holster as well. So just kind of found that interesting, that this, what looks like a normal holster, is actually kind of an abnormal holster for this specific model of gun. But I thought some of you might find that interesting. And like I said, you're seeing these, or at least I've been seeing these pop up all over the internet lately. You know, whereas 6 months ago, I hadn't seen any images of them at all. And right now they seem to be kind of readily available. So I just wanted to get that out there for anyone that had a 82 or 83 and was curious about these holsters, or trying to get a holster more accurate to their specific firearm. There you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay shiny and have a great day.